The Anatolian Shepherd, the dog that doesn't ask for permission. This dog was bred to make independent life or death decisions, often days away from human supervision, while protecting flocks worth more than its own life. If you judge it like a Labrador, you'll think it's broken. If you judge it like a soldier guarding a border alone, suddenly everything makes sense. To understand the Anatolian, you have to understand its environment. Thousands of years ago, in what is now Turkey, shepherds didn't have fences, they didn't have guns, they didn't have backup. They had predators, wolves, bears, large cats, human raiders, and they had livestock. That represented their entire livelihood. The solution wasn't speed, it wasn't chasing, it wasn't herding, it was presence. A dog large enough, confident enough, and intelligent enough that predators would decide the risk wasn't worth it. Not a fighter, a deterrent. That distinction matters. On paper, the Anatolian is massive. Males can reach 120 to 150 pounds. Tall, long-legged, heavy-boned. But if you're expecting constant motion, you'll think something's wrong. This breed conserves energy. It doesn't waste movement. It doesn't pace nervously. It doesn't perform. It watches. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is calculation. An Anatolian lying down isn't resting, it's monitoring. And when it moves, it's already decided why. Most people don't want an independent dog. They want a dog that checks in constantly, looks for guidance, seeks permission, depends on them. The Anatolian does none of that. It was bred to solve problems alone. If a predator approaches, it doesn't wait for instructions. If a boundary is crossed, it doesn't ask. This independence is not defiance. It's the entire purpose of the breed. Trying to dominate it will fail. Trying to micromanage it will fail. Trying to break it will backfire. Respect works, structure works, ego does not. The Anatolian doesn't love the way pet dogs do. It doesn't smother, it doesn't cling, it doesn't perform affection. Instead, it commits. Once bonded, this dog will place itself between you and anything it considers a threat, without hesitation, no announcement, no warning, just action. That kind of loyalty doesn't look emotional, it looks calm, and it's terrifying to anything on the wrong side of it. Can this dog be good with family? Yes, but only under the right conditions. It's naturally protective of its group, especially children, but it does not tolerate chaos without structure. Unsupervised rough play is a bad idea. Constant strangers needs management. This is not a drop-in family dog. It's a guardian with rules. Handled correctly, it's steady, patient, and watchful. Handled casually, it becomes misunderstood fast. The Anatolian is deeply territorial, not aggressively, deliberately. It defines boundaries early and remembers them forever. This makes it exceptional on land and extremely challenging in suburban environments. Fences aren't optional, clear zones matter. Random access does not. If you blur boundaries, the dog will redraw them. Let's be clear. You should not own this dog if you want constant obedience, you live in an apartment, you want a social butterfly, you don't like saying no, you enjoy control more than responsibility. This breed exposes weak leadership fast, not through aggression, through refusal. This dog is for landowners, disciplined people, farmers, ranchers, people who value calm authority, people who don't need to feel in charge. If you understand restraint, this dog will mirror it. If you understand responsibility, this dog will amplify it. The Anatolian Shepherd isn't here to please you. It's here to protect what matters, even if that means ignoring you sometimes. And that's why it's one of the most powerful dogs on earth. Not because it listens, but because it decides. One of the least talked about traits of the Anatolian is how it handles pressure. When something unexpected happens, this dog usually doesn't panic too much. It doesn't escalate emotionally. It pauses, often for just a second, and then commits fully to a decision. That pause isn't hesitation, it's evaluation. Unlike high-drive working dogs that burn energy constantly, the Anatolian manages energy like a resource. It knows when to rest, when to move, and when to act. Socialization for an Anatolian does not mean making it friendly with everyone. It means teaching discernment. The goal isn't enthusiasm, it's neutrality. A properly socialized Anatolian learns what is normal, what is irrelevant, and what deserves attention. Forcing friendliness undermines this instinct and can actually create confusion instead of confidence. People often confuse confidence with aggression. The Anatolian does not posture, bluff, or bark for attention. They're very different compared to their counterpart, the Pyrenees. When it displays intensity, it's because something crossed a line it already defined. This breed is far more likely to prevent conflict than initiate it. Most confrontations end before they start simply because the Anatolian's presence communicates that escalation would be a mistake. Anatolians are remarkably skilled at reading human behavior. They notice tone shifts, posture changes, and emotional states quickly. They don't respond to words as much as they respond to consistency. If your behavior changes day to day, the dog becomes uncertain. If you are a steady, calm person and predictable, the dog settles into its role faster, without friction. This is a slow maturing breed, mentally and emotionally. Many Anatolians don't fully settle into their guardian mindset until 2 to 3 years old. During that time, patience is critical. Rushing maturity creates conflict. Allowing the dog to grow into responsibility builds stability. What you invest early shows up later as quiet reliability. People who live with Anatolians long enough often become unusually protective of the breed's reputation, not because it's perfect, but because it's misunderstood. Once you've seen what this dog does when things actually go wrong, it's hard to accept shallow critiques from people who've never needed real protection. Ownership changes your definition of what a good dog really is. If you learned something new or enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.